It is April 24th, 2026. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A fabulous Friday, a fantastic Friday, a who knows what to do this morning Friday. Jeremy Lambert is here, as is tradition. How you doing, pal?
It is a fantastic Friday, Joel, because we got the greatest news of all time just before we came on the air.
We're doing it, baby.
Reportedly, EVIL is coming to WWE.
PW Insider reported that this morning. Obviously, we will see how that plays out. And Jeremy, we talked about it on Wednesday. It's on the docket. He could be in that box.
Could be. He could be the new Danhausen in the box.
He's in that tiny, teeny box. They open it up and it's evil inside, and he's just like, "Get me out of here!"
Apparently, he's not going to be able to keep his name, which sucks. But
yeah.
I guess.
Hold on, Colin. Love you, pal. If you don't think his entire House of Torture run didn't prove how he can fit into WWE, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's nothing but run-ins and gimmicks. He's going to be perfect in WWE. Sadly, I guess he'll probably never main event, even though he should.
What are you talking about? He's 39. He's perfect for main eventing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he should be main eventing, but we'll never be, like, talking about his shows because all his matches are going to end in DQs, so I'll never get to review his shows.
Well, referee's discretion. Maybe they'll let a few go by.
I mean, as they should. Honestly, as they should. I'm so excited, though. I don't know what his name's going to be. I think... I know that the box had War written on it, but I don't know if his name's going to be War.
Like War or Battle. It was something like that.
No, it was War.
I was told both.
Okay.
I mean, I don't speak Japanese. I don't read kanji, but it was alluded to me that it could be...
Okay.
It could be interpreted as both.
All right, fine. Regardless, I don't know if his name's going to be like War or Battle. They haven't filed for any trademarks. What trademarks? They filed for Mason Rook today. I don't think he's going to be Mason Rook. Maybe.
He should.
I don't think they filed for any trademarks that would give away what his name is, but maybe they filed for one a while ago. I don't know. Let's search the trademark.
I like Ken Bruno. Here. Ken Bruno's got the idea. Mean Mason Rook.
Mean Mason Rook. Shido Ash. That we haven't figured out who that is, right?
I feel like we did, and that was what's his face? Tiffany Stratton's new.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I never remember.
Yeah. Shady illness.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That seems to be right. Yeah, I think everybody else they've had a name to, so they haven't filed for anybody just yet, unless he is going to be Mason Rook or the Mog Squad. Maybe he'll just be the Mog Squad. Mason Rook and the Mog Squad. Let's go.
Hold on, now we're going. I like this idea. This is great.
I'm for Mason Rook and the Mog Squad. I don't understand like the Mog thing. I'm too old, I guess.
I think it's this looks maxing gimmick that people talk about.
See, I don't understand any of this. Is this like Blue Steel? Is this like Zoolander?
It's Magnum.
Oh, it's Magnum? Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's leveled up.
Okay. Well, I mean that's fine then. Like I can understand that. Yeah, I don't understand Mog Squad and looks maxing and all this stuff. You got to get Mason and Mansoor on here to help me through that.
I don't even think they know, because as Louis says in the chat, it's Intel stuff. It ain't, it ain't much.
All
you gotta be willing to hit your face with a hammer, allegedly.
What?
Yeah, that's a whole thing. The whole idea of looks maxing is like the ultimate change of your facial features to create like.
Is it like Squidward? Like,
further, I don't know.
Everybody understands that reference, who is cool. But yeah, Squidward in SpongeBob, like SpongeBob kept hitting him with the door, and Squidward became like beautiful off of it. Is that what we're doing? Can someone confirm this?
Is that how I can change my child's look?
I mean, I feel like you've tried this.
True. I mean, listen, my child is a handsome boy, so what am I saying?
All right, Louis says it's exactly like Squidward. Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Wow. The first time that there's been a negative connotation to SpongeBob, and it's this.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, SpongeBob is also like super ahead of its time, so yeah, I guess it makes sense. But all right, well, I guess we've solved that. That sounds terrible to do that. Like, why? I mean, whatever. I can't pretend to understand this generation, honestly.
Just a bunch of people who can't grow beards trying to do chiseled jawlines for their non-growing beards.
Can't grow beards?
I guess the children, Jeremy.
Oh, I don't get I don't get this stuff. Like, I mean, I got, a lot of kids, but fortunately, they haven't discovered it, or if they have, they've kept it quiet because they know it's probably not something we'd approve of. Hopefully it doesn't lead to anything, but regardless, I think that we can go with Mason Rook and the Mog Squad is what we're going with for Evil's new gimmick here. He rearranges the faces though, like right. The squad doesn't like have to like do it to themselves. They do it to their opponents. Just Evil beating people with hammers. Let's go.
I see nothing wrong with this idea. It's the worst that could happen. And how does Danhausen get into this?
Oh, Danhausen, this is an NXT gimmick, 100%. Danhausen is Danhausen is he's main roster. I mean, I guess he can come to NXT, but
I would assume he comes down to NXT to investigate the Mason Rourke and the Mog Squad. Like, it sounds like they're an evil syndicate, and Detective Danhausen has to look into them.
I want Danhausen to be Detective Danhausen. I just don't know if he's fully going to commit to that.
Very upset about this. Now, it's not like we can have him on our show to ask him.
Yeah, that ship has sailed, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, who knows? Someday. Maybe someday somebody will like us enough.
Yeah.
Maybe if I don't know, we'll start having people on our show who are former WWE employees who tear the company apart for years and then get rehired after doing a podcast where they tear up the company for several years.
Who is this in reference to?
Well, you know.
I truly don't. That's why I'm asking.
You know.
Road Dogg?
Bruce.
Oh. Yeah, I did not know what you were talking about.
That was the whole thing with Bruce. Bruce's show was him basically doing insider stuff for however many years, and then Raw 35 came along and he found himself backstage and got himself a new job. And he hasn't left since.
I mean, I respect the carnyism, honestly.
Yep.
My bad. Like, I didn't listen to something to wrestle for all those years, and you said WrestleMania 35. That's like when I started covering news heavily. So that's when
Raw 35.
When was that? I don't know time.
I think that was maybe the same time. Hold on. I gotta hold on. Raw 35. That was the one they did in New York. Remember there was an awful show. 2018?
Okay, then this was even before I started covering wrestling, so I definitely wasn't. Was that the split show with Hammerstein and Barclays?
Yeah, I think that was 30. Was that the 35th anniversary of Raw?
No.
Oh, what was that? Was that Raw 30?
That was 25.
Oh, no.
Pretty sure that was 25. Oh. Clearly.
Well, now I'm upset. Now I don't remember.
You're the one who brought this up.
Well, I know, but it was 29. I'm pretty sure it was 2018 then. Maybe that was Raw. Yeah, it was Raw 25. It was Raw 25. Yeah. Okay. January 2018. That's when he got his job.
I don't think they've had Raw 35.
No, we're not there yet. We're approaching Raw 30 and 33.
No, we've already done Raw 30.
Did we?
If you said 25 was 2018, what's 5 plus 25?
Okay,
30.
So I'm 30.
Yeah, because remember it was a big deal. Everyone was like, "Oh, Raw XXX."
Oh yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the show at all, but I'll assume it sucked. But
don't look up Raw XXX on your browser. Yeah. You will not get what you want.
So I didn't listen to Bruce's podcast before he got rehired, and I try not to listen to it now. Well, he doesn't even do it now. So yeah, so I didn't listen to it. So I didn't know that he spent that whole time like burying WWE and stuff. No, had no idea because I started kind of in the podcast game basically the end of 2018 anyway. So yeah, if he was hired before that, no idea that's how he spent his time burying WWE. So no, I didn't understand the reference. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, now we did it.
Yeah, we got there in the dumbest way possible of you thought it was Raw 35, which has not taken place yet, and then
there's a lot
stuff
of time,
happened after that.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe maybe Road Dogg will be on the same track. He'll start doing a show. He'll start burying creative, talking about his time. He'll say nice things, and then suddenly he'll be back in a job at Raw 35.
Didn't he basically do that in the first place? Like that's why when you said, "Oh, you know," I thought that was about Road Dogg because
he buried those words. Oh, you didn't know.
Well, yeah, but he buried Triple H and everybody when he was in TNA, and then he just came back and he just got rehired and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Good for him, I guess.
I don't know shit, crybaby.
I know the feeling. Anyway, that was the evil news is fun. I'm hoping that it's going to be a good experience for Evil on the WWE main roster. I was listening to some old Wade Keller audio from about 10 years ago, and just because I needed something to listen to in my ears while I was stretching this morning. I didn't have anything else at this point for a podcast.
There's this thing called music that you can listen to.
I'm listening in one ear while I'm dealing with my family getting ready in the next room. So I'm trying to be.
That's your problem, is you're dealing with your family getting ready. You usually got to tune them out.
That's fair. Normally I would. But regardless, this was at a time when 10 years ago, Nakamura was just coming in before Mania. And we were getting into Nakamura and Sami Zayn and all the stuff that was leading up to Nakamura's NXT debut and the expectation behind it and him coming from New Japan. And I know you remember this. At the time, everybody was high on Shinsuke. Everybody was like, and that too. And they all thought that too. They all thought that he was going to be the next big thing. And it's funny listening to
should have been.
And one of the co-hosts at the time was talking about their experience meeting Nakamura, and it was a really positive experience, blah, blah, blah. And then they were speaking to someone at WWE, and they were the co-host was like, man, this guy's so eccentric. He's so enthusiastic. He's so excited. It's going to be so hard for WWE to screw this up. And then apparently the person who works at WWE was like, oh, they'll find a way.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in NXT, and then got to the main roster, and Vince just didn't get it. He didn't know whatever it might be. But yeah, unfortunate what happened to Nakamura. But he just wants to surf. It's all good. Let that man surf. Let that man live. It'll be fine.
At this age, he deserves it. He put in all his hard work over New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now he's just coasting. It's all good. It's all good. Same thing with Evil. He put in his best work in New Japan Pro Wrestling, got himself, he was a double champion at a time when business was needing a shot in the arm. He was that shot. He saved New Japan Pro Wrestling. Don't ask questions. And now he's coming into NXT, and he is going to be a part of it.
Evil's going to save NXT.
Yes. What are they going to call him?
Liv.
He'll be Liv Morgurk.
I'm going with Mason Rook. Mason Rook in the Mog Squad. I've talked myself into this.
I love the idea of him having to call himself Mason Rourke.
Yeah. That's not Mason Rourke. It's Mason Rook.
Rook. Even worse.
Yeah, he's a chess piece.
What's Japanese for evil? He's just going to be the artist formerly known as Evil. It's going to be like calling himself Jericho.
He's just going to be a symbol.
He should be just a symbol. And it should be the symbol for war or battle, whichever it is.
I think that was, that was the symbol on the box, apparently.
Yeah. That's the box that he is in.
Yeah.
Still can't believe they fit him in that tiny box. And it wasn't very heavy. I mean, Tony D was holding it with one hand. You think maybe you compacted him and he would be right in there. Call him Will Ospreay. Find an AEW star whose name has not been trademarked and just take it.
Yeah, I assume Osprey's name has been
Has
trademarked.
to be.
I figure all these names have been like trademarked, whether it's
If they're
by
smart. Yes.
the wrestler or the company. It's usually the wrestler because I don't think AEW like really trademarks the names.
I don't think so either.
Has
Even
MJF been trademarked?
he must be. He would be
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah, he's got it. Well, there's a lot of MJF trademarks. Yeah, he's got a trademark though. Maxwell Friedman does have a trademarked.
Yeah. Good for him. Make your money, Max.
It should be JFM or FJM. Yeah.
Freaky Jeff Maxwell.
That doesn't work.
Nope.
No, that wasn't good. You attempted. You tried.
I just don't know what to get. Frank.
Frank. Imagine this dude just being called Frank.
Oh, you know what? Just call him Frank. Evil's new name in NXT is just Frank.
Frank, all caps.
Father Frank Mitchell. Father James is Mitchell's evil brother.
They should bring in James Mitchell and just do a bunch of drugs together.
It's just nothing but cocaine for 20 minutes, those two. And then Abyss comes in. He's just like, whoa, what are we doing here? Yeah, Bryn knows. I mean, you got to do Danhausen and Evil. They'll be very nice, very evil tag team. But Evil has to wrestle. That's the problem. Danhausen does not.
What do you mean Evil has to wrestle? And that's a problem. They can both wrestle.
Well, no.
Danhausen wrestled. He's 1-0.
I don't count that.
How do you not count that?
Did he really win?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it makes one of us. I must have been a 3rd-hour match on a SmackDown that I didn't watch. Was it SmackDown before Mania?
No, I think it was the week before. You know, I'm terrible with time. I don't remember this stuff. I do think it was a 3rd-hour match, though. Yeah, it should be every victory is lemons, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
another SpongeBob reference. Or is it every villain is lemons? Isn't that the SpongeBob reference? Every villain is lemons.
But in Evil's case, it should be every victory for him on SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree, but I just like I just appreciate the SpongeBob reference.
Ryan Lambert saying he's going by Okada Shibata.
Okada Shibata.
You should call himself Okada Tanahashi. See what happens.
Kazuchika Tanahashi.
Hiroshi Okada.
I hope you had a good birthday, Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan's in the chat.
Did he come on the show yesterday?
No, he didn't. I assume he was too busy doing what us Lamberts do.
No comments. Hey, by the way, speaking of no comments, I want you to no comment your thumbs and leave a thumbs up on the video. See? We got there eventually. The fireworks come eventually too. What's going on? Well, how did you shoot first today?
I don't know.
There we
Yours
go.
is broken.
Must be broken. Leave a thumbs up for my broken fireworks. And also, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. What's wrong with you? Tell your friends. We're here 5 days a week doing this show. Rob and Maggie are live Friday afternoons. JPJ and Collins, they're live most Sundays. And the Spotlight is usually live on Thursdays. Last night, not so much. They had other stuff going on. It's a busy season, okay?
Yeah, I went to a band concert, and you know the kids are up there, and you know they do these like big little speeches beforehand. But you know they like introduce the song and everything, and one of the kids who was speaking was like someone says blah 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 whatever they're saying in there, like what we do, and I just lean over to my wife. I go, "This is what we do," and it's just to pop her. So now, like anytime like anybody says like what we do, like I just have to like make a "this is what we do" reference. It's probably not healthy, but
I do it too. It's not good.
Yeah. So these poor kids had no idea what was. Not that I said it like super loud or anything, but yeah, these poor kids had no idea what was going on. But yeah, they just was like, you know, what we do in band class, and I was like, this is what we do. I was too busy I wasn't paying attention to any of this kids' content. They were really good. They played like the theme from like How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh,
It sounded really good. Like it was amazing. And they had like the whole band up there. Like it was really good. You can blame us for all. That's fair.
it's one
That's
bit
fine.
we will be happy to take for you.
That and the Izzy Dame, it is what it is, Izzy Dame. Like I'm fine with the.
I now do it under my breath.
Yeah, I did that. Who was I do it to my wife all the time and she's like, "You suck." I did it to somebody just like randomly and they're like, what? Like, it was like, it wasn't on a show. It was just like in public or whatever. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, never mind. Just ignore me. It's fine.
It's not like you can just have a photo of her to show. Be like, oh, we're doing it for her. And people just be like,
Yeah.
who is that woman? And why do you have
Yeah. Like no one's going to know what this Izzy Dame references. I probably did it on the kids as well, and they ignore me anyway, so it's whatever. But yeah, that and it's what we do. I just do. It's what we do. What was I saying about? I don't even remember.
they played the How to Train Your Dragon song?
Yeah. They sounded really. I was saying like I wasn't paying attention to the band concert half the time anyway, because like all the Vrabel and Diana Russini stuff came out, and man, I was locked in on that.
What game do you play best with your partner, Jeremy?
Oh man, these clips are wild, dude. Like these old interviews. So we were texting with our pal Share Delaware over this, and man, that's I think that kid is Mike Vrabel's. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I think that kid is his. I think that dude has every right. Whoever her husband is that she hates has every right to ask for a paternity test. Like I was talking to my wife about this, and she's like, I don't think the guy should ever be allowed to like ask this kind of stuff. But she's like, yeah, I agree. I agree that he's allowed to ask for this. Yeah, we did the math as well, Henry, because I was showing my wife the tweets when she was quoting Wale lyrics about Mike Vrabel, and that was like November and then or October, and then 9 months later, she was tweeting about her son Michael, and I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? That's a crazy story.
That husband. But Maury has been trying to get in touch with that family.
As he should. That'd be huge numbers for Maury.
Maury's done with that too, but he's like, I'm coming out of retirement for this one.
Yeah, that's worth it.
I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I'm the one who gets to say who's the father. They're gonna make it a primetime exclusive. They're gonna blow the decision out of the water. Braun is gonna be out there. LeBron's gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta go change teams now to try and fend my record. No, it's gonna be the you are the father is gonna make headlines for days. It's gonna happen.
And that's an insane story. Yeah, I think the husband hired a PI, and that's how we got
all the pictures started showing up, right? Like they were just slowly leaking out, and it was like it started off as one place, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, okay," and then suddenly it was like a whole different place 3 weeks ago, and you're like, "Oh no, someone hired a PI."
Yeah,
like, there is someone absolutely trailing them, knowing what to look for, and it's just gotten worse and worse over time. It's absolutely. I mean, when I say absolutely incredible, I mean the amount of time that it's taken to put all of this together and get it out there. It takes an incredible amount of work. And
yeah, because people were accusing her in like 2020 of this stuff.
But you can't prove it unless you, in this case, show a lot of incriminating photos, and potentially a DNA test could prove some other stuff. And absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's wild how like just her tweets and her comments were of like
when no one's gonna tell you otherwise, you can play in people's faces. Look what happens. Look what happens today in different sports, politics, so on and so forth. Like people play in your face when they can get away with this stuff, but eventually you don't.
Sure, but I don't know. Like this stuff just seems like insane to me, honestly. Like I don't know. Like again, it like literally it seems so insane to me because I don't know if she's like unhappy in her marriage or whatever. It seems like she didn't want to marry this dude and this average looking dude who she doesn't want to talk about in the first place. But again, this stuff just seems like insane to me because I don't think I'm like super well adjusted, but I guess I'm well adjusted enough. But, you know, I was not super thrilled in my last relationship, and I was still doing shows and stuff at the time, but like I didn't come on these shows and just like talk shit about my ex while we were still together and how things were like not good and stuff. Like kind of just handle that in counseling and or just talk shit to your friends on, you know, through phone calls and stuff. But she's just out here like talking shit about her husband just with no connection to anything. Like she's like, yeah, I'm just dating this average dude who, that's why I don't say anything about him and post pictures and everything. Like, what does this have to do with your football career and your journalistic football stuff? Like, it's so weird.
All the things to say, like he's average, so we don't post pictures. It's like, I don't post pictures with my wife because we just don't like putting that much of our public lives out there. Like I do for the work that I do, but like I don't put out photos of my family. I definitely don't put out photos of my kids, but I never say it's because of average or something like that. It's just like, it's a privacy thing. You could have led with that, but you led with, nah, he ugly. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the tweets are even wilder when you go back and you see some of the stuff she is tweeting. I know she's deleted her account now, but it's so the one, so she named her son Michael. But the one tweet of like, I was thinking of all the great Michaels who played and coached in the NFL. She put the and instead of the or. So it's both, which Vrabel was both. He played and coached. It's like, you didn't even go or on there to like give yourself some leeway. Like, no. I don't think there's too many Michaels who played and coached in the NFL. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm sure they're actually, like, Mike's a pretty common name, obviously, but still, you didn't even go or, because there's plenty of Mikes who have coached and played, but or coached or played, but I feel like there's only a handful that coached and played, and certainly ain't too many active who you were engaging with.
We're wrong. It's Mike Ditka.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Could be Ditka.
It's just Ditka. That's the only one.
Man, the comments are so funny too. Like the comments are so hilarious. People, the app sucks now, but like it's still, if you just want like a good laugh on stuff, like there's still so many things to laugh. I love it's such a dumb comment. I don't think Mike Santana played and coached in the NFL. Mike Shanahan, did he play and coach? Did he play?
No. I've seen Mike Singletary.
Mike Singletary? All right, yeah. Mike Vick didn't play and coach in the NFL. He played.
Michael Vick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go or, like, you're leaving.
Oh, Mike McCormick?
Mike McCormick? I don't know who that is.
He was an offensive lineman for the Browns, and he was the head coach of the Eagles in '73.
I don't know if is he alive? Like,
he's probably dead, but who cares? Could be Mike McCormick.
I mean, I guess technically it could be. I guess it could be. Nah, I can't be coaching college. She said NFL. She legitimately said NFL. So.
She just stacked it up.
Yeah.
Just insane. Anyway, not all journalists are smart is really what we're getting from this. Many are very smart, very intuitive. But sometimes the blind spots are so big that you can fit an entire Dodge Ram truck through it. Shout out to Dodge Ram, the sponsors of WrestleMania 42.
Even if like that kid isn't Mike Vrabel's, like naming your kid after the person like you're having an affair with is so absurd. Like that's evil right there. Like, maybe evil's name is gonna be Michael. Mike. Yeah.
He should just Mike. Coming down the aisle. Mike.
Just Mike, all caps.
Well, I've never met someone more evil than guys named Mike.
Yeah. What if the name's Russini? I don't know.
No, Rusev's got to have a tag team partner named Russini. They're gonna bring back Lana, and they're just gonna call her Russini.
So some of these comments are so absurd, but they're so funny and stuff. But the ones that like always make me laugh is the getting them guts. That's just so hilarious to me when people are just like, "Oh, Vrabel was getting in them guts." Like that's, I don't know why that pops me so much, but I'll just like text my wife, like, "Can I get in them guts right now?" And she's like, "You're such a Romeo," and then I still get in them guts, but it's so funny to me. Just everybody text your partner, "Can I get in them guts?" and just see what the response is. All right, let's see how that goes for everybody.
Hope you have a comfortable couch at home. Variable Rossini is the WWE name.
Vrabel Rossini. That'd be awesome if that was the name.
Rossini Vrabel.
Ryan said my partner hates that phrase. Yeah. I don't feel like I feel like there's like half of us that like thinks it's like hilarious, and then your partner like hates it. Almost. Which is fair. Like I don't think it's a good phrase, but like I just think it's such a funny phrase to just say and to like use. Like, let me get in them guts. Yeah.
Amazing.
Did anybody try this? Did anybody try what your partner was? My wife's watching this show, so she's probably already just like rolling her eyes at me and like, Jesus Christ. But so I don't want to text her, "Let me get in them guts." But text your wife, Joel, and say, "Let me get in them guts," and see what she says.
The response will be, "I hope you like being single." Let me get in that single life. Good Lord. Get in them guts with the sweet sounds of ITW. Yeah, baby. Let me get in the yeah. That's gonna be evil as Vrabel Rossini. Get in them guts.
Louis asked the wife, "So you want the pipe?" Shout out Jared Smith. I do. I send my wife like the most absurd stuff that just I think is hilarious, but I know that like she just like cringes and roll, like rightfully so. Like I do the Jon Moxley approach. Jon Moxley, he tells this story with Renee. This is when Renee had like the greatest podcast of all time. He would send her like an email of like, "You want to fuck?" And then Renee's like, "Why did you send like an email?" He's like, "I thought I was being romantic, like making it personable of like, hey, I'm sending this email." So like, I'll just send my wife like an email like, "Hey, you want to fuck?" And like Jon Moxley does it. It works for him. So, it has to be good, right? That's the type of dumb shit I'll do with my wife. I have no idea why she married me. It's such a dumb decision. And bless her.
Trick is to just walk in the room naked and be like, "You know what time it is."
I've done that before. That's whatever. Yeah. That's the
the
How I Met Your
the naked
man. How I Met Your Mother. Yeah.
Just
the naked man.
A calendar invite.
Sex on this day.
On this day, I want sex now. You can always do the nice shoes approach, but that doesn't always go over with this generation.
Oh, my line is always, "That's a nice shirt. It'd look better on the floor." I use that one. Yeah, I use that one all the time on my wife. So that one works. 10 out of 10.
You busy? No, again.
I use the my wife's gonna kill me for all of this.
And by the way, if you're listening at work, you probably should have put on headphones about 5 minutes ago.
I used the other day I used do you come here often? And then I was like, do you want to come here now? So I used that one on her.
If she hadn't gotten rid of her account, we'd invite Diana Russini to
I don't have a way to message Diana Russini.
Maybe she should host the weekend show.
Oh my gosh, we better change topics for I'm sleeping on the couch. Yeah, I won't tell you where I used to come here often. Come here now.
People think I feel like this conversation is totally not work appropriate. No, it's true. It's not. Why we're having it because we are at work, but you are not. Well, you are too, but headphones on.
Fridays are our most absurd shows because otherwise we're talking about TNA, and I don't want to do that.
So I got halfway through TNA this morning, and I was like, "All right, that
sounds terrible."
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch it last night because the playoffs were on. So thank God the NHL gave me a night off because in Canada, the game or the show I should say got preempted because of the Bruins and Sabres, and I was like, all right. So I just took everything down and said, well, I'm off tonight. And I watched the first hour today, and there wasn't much to say. But
hold on, I think I can load this clip. I gotta find it.
Oh no, okay.
This isn't good. I don't think we'll get demonetized because it's less than it's less than what was 8 seconds. Is that
sure?
Okay.
You know what? Someone's saying stop watching TNA for your mental health. The thing is, like, I didn't really want to watch last night, and I'm glad I didn't. But I've been dealing with enough other health stuff, physical health, that I'm like very happy to not be sitting in this chair longer than I have to. So it was probably good to have the night off.
Let me find this clip. Hold on.
You find it. By the way, I haven't said it yet because we got into this tangent. Leave a super chat. Any Get Your Question or Statement read on the air supports this tomfoolery of a show. And
leave a super chat of your favorite pickup lines.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me load this on the back end here. I'm gonna have to delete it. Hopefully I have space on the back end because other people keep loading stuff that is not as important.
There should be. And if there isn't, just delete stuff.
Yeah, I'll delete some stuff. I'll just say
Bruins lost, by the way. The Bruins lost to Buffalo 3-1.
Yeah, that was a good game. Avs won in regulation, which was nice. We're up 3-0. That's good. All right, so I'll just
one.
Yeah, Sens lost. Yeah.
Sucked.
I did watch that. Yeah, they're down 0-3. I'm sorry. Ducks won the other night though. That was a good game.
Yeah, the Ducks tied up the series and they're back at it. A lot of fun. Tomorrow. They're back at it
tonight.
Tonight. Yeah, tonight.
It's tonight. Yeah. I'll just send my wife this clip. I apologize for everybody. Not safe for work. Not safe for work. I'll just send her this clip.
Because I really want to stick my penis in your vagina.
I remember that one. Oh, God dang it. I'm tired. Amazing.
South Park has like the most absurd things, and I have South Park on like all day. So when that episode came on, I was like, oh, I need to like clip that and just like send it to her and see what happens. And I'll just text her like, you want to make sweet love down by the fire?
That's right. I'm going to lay it down by the fire.
Oh, my poor wife. I feel so bad for her.
ITW After Dark was what Twitch started off as.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Friday nights after the SmackDown review, it would just be complete nonsense. It was the pandemic was that was the only thing that kept us sane was doing dark shows until like 5 a.m. Absolutely bonkers.
Oh man. There you go, everybody. You can clip that. You can use that, send that to your partner and see what happens.
Yep. The After Dark shows happen before dark. It's dark somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh?
Now it's the morning show.
Yeah, why not? It's not like it changes anymore. It's fine. Oh God. Anyway, the only TNA thing that I want to talk about real quick is the WrestleCon tweet.
Oh, okay.
Pull that up real quick. Here it is. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. This is from the WrestleCon Twitter account.
Yeah.
Well, he took a beating the last few weeks, so I want to give Carlos Silva his props today. A week ago, he called me personally to explain his reasoning for pulling the match. This is in relation to the Ricochet versus Leon Slater match that was scheduled for the Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show that then changed into the Demand versus Jet Speed and Michael Oku. Okay, that's the match in question. He then asked if there was anything he could do to make up for it. I simply asked that he reimburse me for Leon's flight and hotel since he was no longer wrestling for us. Today, this was last night at 9:30 when he sent the tweet. Today I was reimbursed for the flight and hotel as promised. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos Silva did literally the bare minimum to make up for what he did.
Yeah.
And WrestleCon, someone in the reply was just like, you could feel the passive aggressivity in the tweets. I read it and I was just like, why would you even put this out there? And I'm like, well, that's why, because some people are going to take it for what it is at face value, and other people are going to be like, this is another beating Carlos Silva deserves. But it's okay. He's sending hats to people who praise him, so it's okay. Absolutely nuts. Did the bare minimum. What can I do? What maybe the thing you should have done when you pulled the guy. You paid me back, so we're good.
I do love the tweet starts. He took a beating over the last week. Like, why? What happened?
What happened?
Why did he take a beating over the last week? It's a very passive aggressive tweet. It's very funny. Like, I mean, sure, good on Carlos that.
Look at the quote tweets. Sorry,
he paid back for the flight and the hotel. Like, cool, good job. It's all good now. Like, I still think it was a black mark on. I still think it was a black mark on the whole thing. So.
And there's one person who like stands up for TNA and for Tessa at any stand, and TNA doesn't always get it right, but at the end they always make it right. Props to TNA, and I'm like,
do they?
Do they really? I was gonna bring it up last night on my post show, but clearly I didn't have to do a post show, so it all worked out. And someone else replied, "That is quite literally the bare minimum."
Yeah, really.
Oh, amazing.
I know Mike Santana and Rich Swann had a really good match last night.
Yeah, which was supposed to happen like that. He was supposed to have a good match, and he did.
Yeah, they gave him like 20 minutes.
Yes.
So
because there was a very wrestling heavy. Well, I wouldn't say wrestling heavy show, but at least
most of the wrestling wasn't good though.
Yeah, exactly. This was the only good thing on that show was that event. So they did the concert with Frankie Kazarian trying to dress up as Elijah, and then Elijah beats up Frankie, and it was so bad. There was some really awful shit on the show. The Zaya Brookside, she's a heel now because she's dressed in all black. I just wish
that segment sucked.
It was awful. And I just love how whenever you're around Laying Lee, suddenly you are fluent in Mandarin Chinese. But this time, and at first it was Indy, and now it's Zaya, and Zaya was about to translate for Zaya, for the former Zaya Lee. Now she's Laying Lee. Very confusing. Anyway, Zaya was about to translate for Laying Lee, and she stops herself, and she's like, "I don't have to translate for you anymore." And I'm like, when did you ever have to do it in the first place? Laying Lee speaks English. She's Zaya bad side.
That segment sucked.
It was awful. You showed a video of my dad. That made me angry. It's like, you're going to be more angry in a couple of weeks. Don't you worry.
Matt Hardy, he faced Dutch, right?
Dutch. He lost to Dutch because Vincent got involved, and then they do a
He's
table
broken.
spot.
Yeah.
I feel like Dutch might have been broken because that table did not break.
No, that looked rough.
Yeah, tables this week, man. Tables are not working. Yeah, it just wasn't a good episode, man. Was the elegance as being the most funny moment on the show is telling. They're going in there and trying to get a match for the not Jeremy Lambert Mr. Elegance. And I just like that they all together, like the Suats, like, so you just want me to give them a match? And all of them together are just like, yes. And she's like, oh, okay, he has a match next week. And then they're just over the moon about it. They're a great comedy group. But yeah, the show was not good.
That's all they're supposed to be, right?
Well, Ash was brought in to be serious when she was brought into TNA. And then they very quickly realized, let's not make her the champion. That would turn out very poorly. And they didn't. And they finally figured out that if you give her a more comedic edge, she will get over. And she has. And she's working with the best people to be a comedy act with. So, again, don't always love the elegances, but I love it when they're stupid. And this was stupid. So, good enough. Yeah, ain't much to talk about with that show. Ken Bruno sends a super chat saying, pickup line, call me Carlos Silva because I'm going to pull out last minute and call you to half-heartedly apologize a week later. Oof. Oof.
I don't think anybody wants to be called Carlos Silva.
He's got a white hat now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice.
I want everyone to know that. His trucker off-brand hat is now white. I'm sure you'll find the variant on the TNA shop eventually. Anyway. Who's a bigger philanthropist, Nick Khan or Carlos Silva?
All right, before we get into that, because it kind of, a lot of it does tie together. I assume you saw this like Seth Rollins-Kyle Brandt thing.
Yes, and apparently there was more this morning where they talked about it.
Yeah, like they like basically admitted like it was a work. Effectively, what are we like accomplishing here? Not in a, what do we accomplish on this show that we do at the end of every show, but like what is the purpose of any of this?
Keep them in the conversation. Doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's bad. Just keep talking. And it's not good.
But
useless.
But the conversation is dumb.
Yes.
Like you're just doing. It's so weird. It's so weird because. So I'm watching this clip here, and Seth is just like, I've never been more proud of you, and for this whole work that we did. What? I guess people like message and like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Like, nobody's like tuning into the show.
Don't worry, it's a long-term play, brother. Because now Kyle Brandt and Seth Rollins are going to team up against Braun Breaker and I don't know Stephen A. Smith or some shit.
It's
going to be Jey Uso and Seth Rollins against Cameron and Kyle Brandt. I was trying to figure out how to shoehorn in the Jey Uso and Cameron shit because it's the same stuff, but just this one much poorly done. It was done much worse than the Cameron stuff.
Roger. It's like I don't think it makes like the WWE people look good. That's the thing. Is Jey Uso is just like attacking Cameron and Seth Rollins is being. I like Seth Rollins. He's kind of being like a bitch and just walking off set because somebody brought up that he lost a wrestling match. Like it doesn't, like the wrestlers don't look good in this.
Oh, okay. This is like the weird thing about wrestling today versus wrestling in the 80s. It was always presented as these are a bunch of like insane people who like they're inmates in an asylum. That's how wrestling was kind of presented back in the day. And like all these characters were so over the top and at any moment they could snap and they could kill you if you said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, you should fear them. This is like their attempt to do that in public with public figures to show like, oh, these wrestlers, they're super serious about the craft, and if you make fun of them, they will snap. It's like, but it doesn't work. It doesn't, because we all
It doesn't work when 24 hours later you're just like hugging and
too, where it's the
being like, ah ha ha, we worked everybody for a whole 24 hours and all we got out of it was people checking in to be like, hey, is this real or fake? And extra social media buzz. Like nobody is like tuning in to the show to look at, like, I think everyone just looks kind of dumb. Like if you are not a wrestling fan and you were watching this, I don't think Seth Rollins looks good. Like, why is he getting upset that Kyle Brandt is like, oh, we should get Becky up here because she actually wins? And Seth is just like yelling at him and walking off set. Like Seth looks terrible in this.
Would have been very funny if it turns out that Becky was like, don't include me in your football shit. You go up there and you make this right. I don't want to deal with this. Don't make me part of this shit.
It's like, it's just dumb. And again, like, let's say for argument's sake that this was going to lead to something. It was gonna lead to Kyle Brandt doing a match. Like, no offense to Kyle. Seems like, by all accounts, everything that I've read and seen of him, seems like a nice guy and everything. But like, it's not like he's super famous, right? Like, I guess people know him in like sort of the NFL circles because he's a host and everything. But like, nobody like really knows who he is. He is a niche audience the same way wrestling has a niche audience. He's not like McAfee. I can like sort of understand because McAfee does have like millions of people watching his shows and he has like built a brand. Jelly Roll, again, can understand. He's got millions of fans who listen to his music. Bad Bunny makes sense. Like, Kyle Brandt's just a football like, you're better off like getting Rich Eisen to do this stuff. Like, at least people know who Rich Eisen is. Maybe I'm downplaying how famous Kyle Brandt is, but I just don't think he's like this like big time guy of like, yeah, I can't wait to see Kyle Brandt on television.
Wonder who his manager is. Kyle Brandt.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I mean, he's got almost 5,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know if that means anything, but
my feeling is, if Pat pulled out, they needed and they wanted to do something else with another ESPN related person. This guy, as unknown as he is trying to make a name for himself.
But
trying to. I didn't say he is or he has.
No.
This is
okay. Sure. I'll buy this theory. You killed it after 24 hours.
They realized it just wasn't very good.
It led to nothing. Like, it led to absolutely nothing. It led to 24 hours of coverage on the night of the NFL draft. And again, I guess that was their point, is they wanted to just get some buzz. Like, but again, to me, the wrestler looks terrible here. Like, Seth looked terrible in this whole thing because all of it was Seth walks off the set. And Seth walked off the set because they're like, hey, dude, you lost a wrestling match. And he's like, I can't take that I lost this fake fight that I was scripted to lose and my wife won. Oh, man, you cut deep with that one. Like, what are we doing with this? Like, this is just garbage to me. I'm sorry. I don't think it accomplishes anything. Same with like the Jey Uso and Cameron stuff. Like, yeah, I'll sort of defend it in the fact that, like, okay, Cameron, his podcast is super popular. He was a big deal in the 90s. And everybody listened to Hey Ma. So, okay, like, he had some popularity and stuff. Like, maybe that leads to some extra buzz. And if it's going to lead to a match, which I don't know if it is, but he's at least throwing it out there, like, all right, fine. You might pick up something off of that the same way you might have picked up something off of McAfee and Jelly Roll and all these people. The Kyle Brandt stuff is baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. Like this is much lower level stakes, obviously. But like when I, fuck around with Cole, and I was like, oh, we hate each other and stuff. Like I don't think anybody actually believes that we do, because we've also kind of made it clear that we haven't.
You're also not. It's on a different level.
That's what I mean.
You're not I don't know. You're not Kyle Brandt, superstar ESPN Good Morning Football host.
Well, that's the thing is like we're on a different level, but it's like the same level as far as what we're doing out here. Like I add nothing of value to Cole Radstrick. I'm not selling an extra ticket. I'm not bringing an extra viewer onto this. And no offense to Cole, the same way this is no offense to Seth. Like, if Seth is on Good Morning Football, like, he's on there all the time. Seth isn't adding anything extra to Good Morning Football. We love Cole. Cole's welcome on the show anytime he wants. Cole doesn't, like, he might get us a couple extra people the same way Seth gets a couple extra people, but it is not like, when we eventually get Tony Khan on, then we will see, like, we'll see probably a big spike in viewership and stuff. Like, yeah, I understand me and Kyle and Seth and Cole are not on the same level, but I feel like my analogy here works the same way I can compare NXT superstars to NFL players. I feel like my analogy here works on the levels of like value we are adding.
It's like taking Dave Meltzer and having him in an ongoing feud with I don't know, Conrad Thompson, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're just throwing out names here. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not good. But I really do think that the WWE PR strategy lately, over the last couple of years, has been like toss it at the wall, see what sticks. That's like, and that's not even a WWE. That's almost the TKO style. Is just like any news is good news, and even bad news works for us, because it keeps us in the news cycle longer. Bad news keeps them in the news cycle longer than good news. That's the whole thing, which is absolutely baffling. But they're right. And it's true. And the same thing happens, like, if you want to talk about what happens with AEW, the times when they get the most coverage, for better or worse, is when they have some sort of terrible thing or something controversial, and like suddenly everyone's off to the races with it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, let them catch a break when they have a good show, or when they do something that like is worth praise, because they do stuff that's worth praise, but it's everyone just wants to focus on a negative, and then we're, like I said, off to the races.
Remember when AEW tried to set up that Ricochet and that country singer thing that led to absolutely nothing?
What was this?
Yeah, it was an episode of Collision a few months ago.
Oh God, we spent more time asking who that guy was.
Yeah, I had no idea who this dude was.
Yes.
Like, again, like, I think there's a place for this stuff. I do. I've defended some of this stuff. I think I Show Speed, fantastic use of this kind of stuff, because Speed is going to go on his streams. He's going to talk about it. He's clearly a big fan. He's super athletic. He seems to get it. LA Knight crashing the I Show Speed stream, which does like millions of views and all that stuff. Like, that helps. That works. And then you're putting that match on ESPN2. It's a 6-man tag opening the show. Like, that is a perfect use of this kind of stuff. I don't think like the Jelly Roll use was for SummerSlam was even that bad. The McAfee stuff, even they, at least McAfee, would admit that wasn't good. But, and those people like have a level of fame to where you're like, okay, it makes sense to use these people. I just don't understand doing this kind of stuff where you are not adding a single new viewer through this. In fact, you might be turning off viewers, because I think most wrestling fans would say this stuff is dumb and doesn't do anything for them. And then most outside fans would say the wrestler looks kind of dumb, and they aren't tuning in to see Kyle Brandt and Seth Rollins fight. Like,
I mean,
and again, like, you're adding what you killed it off after 24 hours. Like, it didn't even, the most you got out of it was headlines that said WWE superstar walks off the set of Good Morning Football.
Well, it's gonna, and you know what? Maybe they think that that's gonna tune in. That's gonna get people to tune into the next episode to see how they
Of Good Morning Football. Yeah, because they need viewers on the days of the NFL draft. They are certainly hurting for viewers.
That's right.
For the NFL draft.
It's huge, absolutely. I don't know what the strategy is, other than maybe they're just having fun and they thought this would be a fun way to drum up some drama on socials. And this is what they did. Maybe it's just that, and it's so stupid because now we're here talking about it because we're talking about how stupid it is. But other people may have eaten it up and been like, "Oh my God, did you see Seth? He walked off the set." And then today they're laughing and kikiing like, "Oh my God, we got him!" And it's dumb. It is the playing in your face. It's like these two slept together for years and then finally we're getting it all out in the open.
You're better off talking about that. You get a ton more viewers talking about Vrabel and Rossini than this worked shoot with Seth Rollins and Kyle Brandt.
That's a seedy underbelly conversation is what it is. It's
really.
It's salacious. It's cheating.
It's not though.
Having a child while you're in a relationship.
Okay, you don't have to bring up like the salaciousness of it, but as people know, I listen to a lot of Dan Patrick, and they're talking about it, but they are putting the reporter spin and the NFL spin on it. Mike Vrabel is still an active head coach in the NFL who just went to the Super Bowl. He did a 2-minute press conference where he didn't actually say anything.
So I'm going to counseling yesterday. Later.
Yeah, he's going to counseling on day 3 of the NFL draft. He's like, well, counseling is important, but you know what's more important is who we're going to take in round 2. But like, there is a football and a reporting spin to this where you don't have to bring up like, hey, you know, these Diana Russini tweets, I think that kid might be Mike Vrabel's type of thing. Like, you can talk about the implications it means for, again, reporting and Mike Vrabel without having to get into the salaciousness of it all. There is a professional way to handle this, and again, I listen to Dan. I think he handles it very professionally while still making jokes because
it's an outrageous situation.
Yeah, but he asked the Danettes of like, if you had one question for Mike Vrabel, what would your question be? And one of the Danettes, it was Marvin, he goes, was it worth it? And I was dying when Marvin asked this, that was going to be his question. So like, they're still kind of poking at it a little bit, but now you can handle this kind of stuff on the air. And now maybe they have a mandate not to, and so that's why they're not doing it, and you want viewers and attention, that's going to do more than WWE superstar Seth Rollins walks off set.
It's just weird. It's all just weird. Anyway, we got a super chat from Vala, by the way, saying, call me Pat McAfee. I'll make a mess out of you, but I still have the decency to pull out. If he comes back and does that tag match, a lot of y'all are going to look mighty stupid with tweets like that or super chats like that.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just making fun. He's going to pull out.
I don't think anybody looks stupid. I don't think that that super chat's going to make Vol look dumb at all.
Let him look. No, he just looks dumb putting it out there.
I expect McAfee to be back. I expect McAfee to be back in some capacity at some point. It might just be like a one-off. It might be an announcer. I think they're going to do WrestleMania in Indy. They owe WrestleMania to Indy at some point in the next 20 years. So I assume McAfee will like be part of that in some capacity and promoting it. I think wrestlers will start going on his show again. They'll let the situation die down, but they like the coverage that McAfee gives them. And obviously McAfee's a fan and is favorable towards their coverage. He's not asking anything salacious. He's not asking anything like hard hitting or whatever. He plays ball with everything. I mean, that's why he was in this story, because he played ball and he continued to play ball on his show until he had the smarts to be like, I don't think this is working. Yeah. So, no, I assume they'll work with McAfee in some capacity again within, honestly, by the end of the year.
Oh, easily. Yeah. Probably by SummerSlam time. He'll be back in the saddle talking to wrestlers. trying to think where. I mean, they're in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
They'll come to Indy. They'll do stuff. It's fun.
It might have Brock on his show by that point. Brock's been on his show
Probably.
before.
Yeah, probably have him on the afternoon of the weekend going into the show. Because Brock will be on SummerSlam, baby.
We'll see.
It'll happen. Nick Khan. Nick Khan speaks to the what was this? The Senate committee.
Yeah, it was a public hearing for the Ali Act.
Yeah, the Boxing Reform Act. Federal law to protect boxers from exploitation. They want to repeal it effectively. They want to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Nick Khan side of things wants to do. So he's speaking at this committee, and by the way, there were only 3, I think, senators who were there. Senator Ted Cruz, who's the head of the committee hearing arguments about this, and then there was a Democratic senator, and then there was the one from Ohio, who I think is a Republican, who spent more time asking for WrestleMania in Cleveland than asking any actual questions to Nick Khan. But either way, the point of all this being, Nick Khan was there, and one of the big notes that came out of this was the fact that Make-A-Wish purchased $2,500 worth of WrestleMania 42 tickets. Yes, I know. Go ahead, chat, make the comment. That's like half a ticket. Yes, we've all seen and made the same joke. I get it. It's funny. Go ahead, make it. You can do it now. Let's read the quote. So WrestleMania this past weekend. Make-A-Wish. WWE does a lot of work with Make-A-Wish. John Cena in particular has made more wishes happen than any other human in the existence of Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish, a nonprofit organization, they bought $2,500 worth of tickets. The WBC for Canelo Crawford, they hold themselves out as a nonprofit. They purchased $265,000 of tickets for that event and insisted upon a suite for the president of their company. It's a mess. It's not just it's not just health and safety. We all want more health and safety. It's about presenting an option. And by the way, if fighters want to, as Mr. De La Hoya said, Oscar De La Hoya was arguing the other side, by the way, in this. If Mr. De La Hoya said they want to fight for those belts, please feel free. We're not saying get rid of them. We're saying keep the Ali Act as is, just provide the option for the UBOs, which we think is great for the fighters. $2,500 to Make-A-Wish.
Why is Make-A-Wish having to purchase tickets? Shouldn't they be like giving these tickets to Make-A-Wish?
So I've heard some people point out that some nonprofits will not accept gifts as part of their mandates.
Okay.
But WWE can make a donation to Make-A-Wish that I assume would cover the tickets. WWE also will do those Make-A-Wish events for WrestleMania week, or those special moments where they'll have a certain amount of kids. And we make the joke about John Cena at WrestleMania 39, and he brought out all those kids to the stage. That was part of Make-A-Wish, but there was other stuff that they did with the Make-A-Wish kids leading up to the WrestleMania appearance. One of them was like you can go through WWE World or whatever they were doing that year, Superstore, and buy a ton of exclusive stuff. And like they were getting it for free, and other exclusive stuff, meet superstars and do some exclusive fun Make-A-Wish WWE branded events, meet and greet stuff, which is wonderful. Like that's just the part of what companies do in their
what we do.
Word for it? It's what we do. There's a word for it, and I'm completely blanking, but it's effectively when nonprofits work with larger companies. Corporate governance? No, I gotta look it up later. But either way,
philanthropy is the word you're looking for.
Philanthropy is how brands win. That's right. Thank you, Twitter. But no, there's a role for it, and I have a friend who used to do it, and it's bugging me now. But anyway, point is WWE does take advantage of stuff like that frequently, which again they should. But the idea that Make-A-Wish paid $2,500, what does that mean? Does that mean they bought a ticket? Does that mean they bought a bunch of tickets at a comped rate? Does that mean they were given $2,500 in tickets that were up in the nosebleeds? Does it mean they were discounted a bunch of tickets and they only spent $2,500 and able to? Again, I don't know what that means, because it could have been they spent $2,500, but we gave them a gift of $10,000 so that they could be sitting more close to ringside, or maybe they were sitting front of 100 section, whatever it is. I'm also not going to make excuses for WWE. So corporate social responsibility. Thank you, Slick and Mean got it. Corporate social responsibility. That is the role. That is part of a lot of these big companies working with nonprofits to secure not just goodwill, but also getting their names out there to all of these nonprofit organizations and bolster their only, what do you call it? Their only work with them. Anyway,
Philanthropy.
It's how we win. It's the future. WWE could have also just given them $2,500 worth of tickets and they were up in the 400s at the top. But we're going to find out soon enough what that means when someone asks for some sort of clarification, because he just said a lot of words.
I don't know if anybody's going to ask for clarification.
That's fair. And then and then Nick is also saying that World Boxing Corporation, WBC, who is not a nonprofit, they hold themselves out as a nonprofit, he says, purchased $265,000 of tickets and wanted a suite for the president. I don't know how true that is, but that is the line that he's holding. So he's basically comparing Make-A-Wish to the WBC. Interesting.
Every time these people talk, I just wonder how they get to where they're at. But I guess it's because they say so much without saying anything, and then people are just like, oh, that's not really smart. They just talk to a lot of dumb people. And then I don't know. Like, all right, so Make-A-Wish purchased this amount of tickets, and then they watched all their favorites get beat, I assume. They probably asked those Make-A-Wish kids of like, hey, who's your favorite wrestler? Because we're going to beat them. Like, I love AJ Lee. Oh, do you want to be like dressed like AJ Lee? Yeah. All right, we're going to beat AJ Lee.
Let's go. Trevor Dame had a great comment. He's like, people are getting mad at this, but maybe those kids' wishes were help improve WWE's second quarter revenue. It's like everyone made the same joke. Like Paul Walter Hauser sold 2 tickets, Gorilla Position. Why would they only buy half a ticket? Other people were like 1 whole ticket. Oh my God. Like, I get it. Like everyone made the same funny joke. Even you did the same thing, didn't you? Where you were like, that's 3 tickets? Sure. But like,
I was like, that's half a seat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, never mind. And Dave was like, imagine not comping Make-A-Wish. But when he says Make-A-Wish bought the tickets themselves, it's shocking. So I don't know to what degree that matters. I don't know if Make-A-Wish is going to say anything about it. They might be pressed to at least clarify what that means in their case. I'm curious. I mean, I am, and I've said it out here already. What does $2,500 mean? Does that mean you were given a large discount to get better seats for these kids, or like, and you still paid out of pocket for the experience? Like I said, I know that there were other Make-A-Wish experiences that were gifted throughout the WrestleMania week, which is typical of WWE. So it's not like they completely put Make-A-Wish out in the cold. It was just a very weird comparison to make, because he was trying to compare the Make-A-Wish WWE partnership with Canelo and Crawford and the WBC asking for, a shit ton of tickets and a suite for their presidents. And it's just really weird. I don't know.
Nick Khan and these people like getting into boxing is just gonna. I understand. Like, I know Nick's been a big boxing fan. I know Dana's been a big boxing fan. He'd much rather promote boxing than UFC. But like, boxing is such a mess, and it, like, them thinking they're just like gonna come in and fix it when all they're doing is just complicating it more is. I love that they're battling Oscar De La Hoya for all this though, because De La Hoya ain't gonna back down. De La Hoya wasn't very good in this hearing, though. No, none of these. No, he's not gonna back down. But like, boxing's a mess. Like, I don't think like you can fix boxing. But that's why Nick Khan is presenting it as it's a mess. Like, we can fix it, and like he probably does sound smart to this because everyone knows boxing is a mess. So is this do we think this is the first time WWE has like done this for Make-A-Wish or any like organization, or do you think like this is pretty just commonplace? I wouldn't be surprised if it was commonplace for Make-A-Wish being part of their mandate not to accept gifts at 100%. I haven't looked at Make-A-Wish. I don't know what their mandates are. If somewhere in their verbiage it says
we do not accept gifts at 100% rate. We allot some of our money towards events like this. When 2,500, when you're bringing in, let's say 25 kids, just to make the math easy, like what's that? That's $100 a kid. That's a pretty low barrier for entry.
That doesn't even get these kids water.
No. But I'm not talking about what happens afterwards is not important. That's covered. My point is, if WWE is offering 90% of the experience, but Make-A-Wish in their mandate has to give some money up of their own in this transaction, so to speak, and it's $100 a head, then it's worth it for the experience of the kids. But again, I don't know what the reality is there. I'm hypothesizing that it could be there's a get-in price for Make-A-Wish to justify legally being able to do it. So I don't. Okay. So I don't, and now I'm also in Canada where the laws are going to be different. So I don't know what happens in the States when it comes to that gifting and so on and so forth.
No. Yeah, I don't know either. Like this is why I'm asking when it comes to this stuff. And I mean, you mentioned that maybe we'll gain clarity. I don't think we're gaining any type of clarity on this because it's not like Nick Khan does a ton of interviews. So, and the interviews he does do are like once a year, and we just passed that time. And by the time we roll around the next year, nobody's gonna remember any of these comments. So.
I think it's more of a, if let's say a Brandon Thurston reaches into anything, he won't go through WWE or TKO. He'll go through Make-A-Wish because Make-A-Wish would be much more willing to give their side of how they had to spend money to go to WrestleMania. And it might turn out to be something like that. It might turn out to be just part of our relationship. Like again, if somebody wants to ask, I wouldn't recommend going through TKO because you won't get an answer even if you tried to get right to Nick Khan's face. I would ask Make-A-Wish because they have, technically, as a large nonprofit, the responsibility to give you transparency. Not everyone does, but they are certainly ones who will give more than a TKO would.
Yeah, that's fair. And Thurston probably fired off that email like the moment Nick Khan said Make-A-Wish. So maybe I would imagine that he's probably on that already, and we'll see if he has anything or anything does eventually come out from that.
And it's not like this is anything salacious. It's not like this information is going to turn into like the undoing of TKO or Make-A-Wish. It would give us more insight as people who report and talk about this stuff. It would just give us more insight as to how these partnerships work, which it's not some big carny story. It's just Nick Khan said $2,500 and we said why. Yeah. And I think why is a perfectly okay question to ask in this case, because we don't know the ins and outs of nonprofits and the deals that they make and the partnerships that they have. We just hear the number and we're just like, well, we know how much tickets cost. We're flabbergasted that this is a number that was given out, and why was it given out in the first place? Whereas we'd never heard it before. So information is good in this case.
Yeah, when they said 2,500, I was like, did he misspeak? And did he mean
25,000?
Yeah, 25,000. Like, what happened here? That it was only 2,500. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought at first. I thought it was a fake number, and he just misspoke.
It could be because you compare it to saying 265,000. Like,
yeah,
either he was trying to make a point or he was trying to make a point.
I think he was.
That's the difference between 2,500 and 25,000 in comparison to 265,000.
Yeah, I definitely think it was the latter. He was trying to make a point when it came to that, but we'll see if anything comes out of it, and who knows on that. But I like the more salacious thing coming out of speaking of Thurston and his reporting and everything is, and I don't even think this is super salacious either, but it is an active lawsuit, was the Shapiro comments at when he was depositioned, when he's like, yeah, we didn't really want Vince. We didn't need Vince. He was not a deal breaker for us, which completely contradicted what Ari said the moment the company got purchased on CNBC, and contradicted what was in the SEC filing, that we offered more because Vince was sticking around and we wanted him to stick around. And now they're like, we actually, no, that's not true at all. It's like, somebody, well, like, all right, fine. Ari's going to be on television and say, yeah, of course we want Vince. Vince is right there, like next to him and everything. Like the SEC filing is supposed to be some type of legal document recording there. And then a deposition's a deposition. So it doesn't seem great that was his comments, but I understand, like, Mark's trying to protect the current state of TKO in this lawsuit, and Vince is not in the current state of TKO, but it's still, the story not being straight isn't the greatest look for them.
As Zappato was saying in the chat, Jimmy Van called it. And yeah, Jimmy from the get-go knew that this was all in service of Vince, to keep Vince and then kick him out when it was time. Just so happened the time came a lot quicker. And maybe it was at the right time for TKO, because maybe there was some inside work being done to make sure that the timing was right for his departures. The whole country's accepted lying. It's kind of true. And it's one of the reasons why I'm glad to not be living in the States, but also it's not like Canada's perfect, because we deal with some of this bullshit too. Not to that degree though. What can I tell you? TKO was built on a promise that was never going to be advantageous for anyone but one guy, because it felt like that one guy came back to do one thing, and that was sell at a rate, or sell at a option that was most advantageous for him. And I'm talking about Vince McMahon. Other than that, like, it didn't matter what support was going to say. It didn't matter what your investors were going to do. You were going to deal with it, and they were going to give you the best deal that no one would ask questions about. And that was it. And now here we are 3 years later, and we're saying, well, that wasn't very good. And it turns out it wasn't very good.
I do wonder what the other deals would have, like, amounted to, right? Because
6.9 billion.
Yeah. Like, obviously Tony's offer was lower than all of the other offers. Who else had an offer there?
Liberty, not Liberty Insurance.
Insurance?
Liberty Media Group.
The kids be loving that come out. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. They be singing that all the time. I'm like, I get it.
I'm trying to, I got to remember WWE purchase. I really can't remember who it was specifically.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. Yeah, there were quite a few bids. So Endeavor won. You're gonna bring that up?
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the names, and of course, if you search everything,
okay, I got it.
Now, Liberty Media, KKR, Base 10.
Base 10 was Tony.
Yeah.
KKR was the bid for 8 to 8.7 billion. Liberty Media was 8.5 to 8.9, and Endeavor was 8.5. So I don't know anything about KKR and Liberty Media, so I have no idea.
Liberty has F1.
Okay. What is KKR? Is that the Saudis?
People had kind of floated that out there, that it's not the Saudis, but they were involved in the background with it. But I got to look more into what KKR was supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what KKR is. If you Google KKR, it just says a leading global investment firm. So which I feel like that's all of these places. They're all investment firms.
Fair. Just huge companies wanting to buy and acquire and make more money and then kick them out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Like, I don't see what they like have. Okay. Oh no. What do they actually have? I don't know. This is all above my pay grade. They acquired Arctos, which they have stake in teams across a bunch of different leagues. So look, they just got their hands in like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
it seems
they've got Nabisco. That was their first big one. They've got headquarters all over the world.
None of this is helpful.
No, but the point is, like, they are acquirers of
Yeah.
large entities or have
Yeah.
made large investments.
Yeah, that
that have
seems to
played out.
be what it is here. So okay, well, I don't know again the ins and outs of this stuff, and I don't think like all of it is obviously like public record of that. We know what the bids were, but we don't know like kind of what the pitches were, right? Because there's a difference between just, hey, we're gonna put up this much money, and then like, all right, we actually want to do this with it. And I don't even know if that stuff was talked about, vetted, because it could have just been as simple as like, we don't want Vince, we don't want Vince, we don't want Vince. Yeah, we'll take Vince. Okay, this is who I'm gonna sell to. Then I do think there was a reason for the Endeavor stuff because they already had UFC, and obviously they turned it all into TKO, and like it. From a synergy standpoint, like it made sense if you were just looking at this from let's take Vince out of the equation and say like none of these companies were gonna take Vince or weren't gonna take Vince. If you're just looking at it like what is the best deal for WWE, like the Endeavor deal does make a lot of sense. It was in line with the other bids. There was a plan seemingly for to merge with UFC to create TKO. Like I said, like now you own basically the two biggest combat sports entities out there. Like it, if I'm looking at that from I guess just a more of a fan perspective, because I'm not a shareholder, I don't know all the stuff that goes in that, but from like a fan perspective, like yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Where Liberty and KKR just seemed like, all right, we're going to buy it and then do what you want with it. Maybe they would have had more say, but what do they know about wrestling? I don't know. And same thing with Liberty. We'll see how the lawsuit plays out. But obviously it was who's going to keep Vince on.
It was who's going to keep Vince on, but also just beyond that, looking at all the other options, Endeavor did still make the most sense from a media landscape and presentation standpoint. It just did. Yeah. Because they have hands in that world deeper than any other of those bids did. So I don't know what it comes down to. And listen, it comes down to what Vince wanted. We know this. This is part of what this lawsuit's about, is that there's a heavy Vince appeasal that was going on at the time. That's what the lawsuit alleges, and that's what they're looking into. At the same time, TKO can jump back with what I just said and say, look at all the other people who were going for us. There was no one better. There was no one more equipped. There was no one better equipped to handle the day-to-day operations of WWE, especially knowing that we had UFC, which, while they are in different worlds, they are still sports presentation. And the only other closest one was Liberty with F1. And F1 is a different beast than WWE is. UFC is, presentationally a week by week presentation, just on a different level. And WWE was coming in with something somewhat similar, doing weekly TV multiple days a week, trying to get media rights deals, trying to ensure that their talent is set up and kept and given opportunities to branch out beyond just the wrestling opportunities that they had. It again made the most sense, but still there is the stink of why they were really going for it.
Yeah.
Tony just wanted the data access, and I appreciate that.
Tony was just doing a bit.
He was just but I honestly think that he would have relished having access to the data from WWE over the years.
Oh, Tony would have. I mean, I don't know what Tony would have done with everything, but sure, data access, library, like just everything for Tony. He would have. I don't know what he would have done with it, but he was just doing a bit with that bid. I'm not unconvinced.
You will hear no other options.
Yeah, that bid was the full bid. Like,
he's a data analyst at heart, like Volib's saying. It's true. You see it. He just wants to see those numbers. He wants to see those. He wants to see everything. And you know what? God bless.
I want to. Yeah, we oftentimes we talk about questions we would ask Tony when he never appears on this show. I want to ask Tony about the decision to move away from like the wrestling matches starting the show, because that's happened a lot over the past year or so. And it's not only just like they're just doing more in-ring segments to start the show, but remember we used to have like, oh, we're getting right to the action here. Like we didn't have video packages. It was just the opening, and then like here's the match. Like the two guys are already in the ring. I want to know what the decision was to like move off of that. That's a nerdy question that I want to know Tony's answer to.
That's a good question. We should have him on. We should have him on eventually.
I mean, I agree, but you know, I want to ask Tony some of these nerd questions on top of the dumb questions we'll ask.
That's what. Listen, everyone wants to get that different Tony interview. Well, we're gonna ask him questions that force a different Tony interview. That's the point. We're gonna get it. It's gonna happen, and that day is gonna be the weirdest day we've ever had. Okay, I'll keep asking him the questions about weird tweets and things like that.
Greater than Hark saying, I never understood the fixation on how the show starts. I don't know, man. It's just it's not like a pet peeve or anything. It's just something that's noticeable on, because like it's the first thing you see. So it's how the show starts. The first thing, like I don't like the WWE starts all their shows of like this person's arriving to the arena and this person's arriving to the arena. Like that is so dumb to me. Like absolutely so dumb. And I don't mind how AEW starts the show. I don't care if it starts like in the ring with a match or in the ring with a segment. Like that's whatever to me. I just want to know like what his thought process was of changing it to that over the years, because obviously like there's fixation to it because something goes into it. It's not just like, oh, why do people care? Why are people so worried about this? Well, the decision makers care because they have changed it up over the years. And this is a data point for Tony, I'm sure, of like, well, we do better numbers doing this compared to this, and that's his answer, then that's his answer. But like I just want to know when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, it's a fixation for people because it's clearly a decision, a conscious decision that is made when it comes to how the show is put together.
Yeah, and like you said, like he's looking at data points like this. This is important. Minute by minutes were something that Tony would, and probably still does, look at and favor heavily on his show. What's working, what's not, what can we tweak, what can we change? And he's got people that he would bounce off the ideas to. So going from a match every single week to doing an in-ring promo or just changing it up, whatever it is, I think that's good, by the way. I like it when you change it up. I don't think that every show needs to open up the same way. That's one of the things with WWE that kind of annoys me is skipping through. I just skip through the entrances all the time and the walking through the arena. And once in a blue moon, they get you and they do something with that. They start a fight or they do an interview. Like when they do something like that, it's good. But building the same thing week in, week out, same entrances to the arena, it's a thing. It's what they do. It doesn't need to stay that way. So I'd rather they change it up a bit. And clearly that's something that AEW started to do, was find different ways to start the shows. Doesn't always need to be a 20-minute promo. It can be a match. It could be a promo. It could be an interview. It could be just a recap of the pay-per-view that happened the 3 nights before earlier.
And I think they're doing a much better job when it comes to like the recap stuff and all of that. Yeah, like I don't mind how AEW starts their shows because they, for the most part, get right into things. You know, a recap is good. I do think it is necessary for times. And WWE I don't like because it takes like 8 minutes to get like into anything, because it's like, oh, let's do a recap video again, fine, but then I don't like the arena arrivals. I think that's so stupid. Wrestler arrives to the wrestling show.
Wrestler comes to work.
Yeah, like put that stuff on social media. I don't need you to do 5 minutes of arena. I know it's not quite that long, but I don't need this arena arrival stuff. But they're trying to be real sports, and so that's why they're doing it. But if you're watching the NBA game, The arena rivals, if the game tips off at 8, which the game doesn't really tip off until like 8:10, but from 8 to 8:10, you don't get the arena rival stuff. You basically like shoot around and analysts talking and everything, which I guess is just as bad as the arena rivals. Yeah, once the show starts, like I want the show. I don't want the people who are here supposed to be here.
You know what? Going into like a big event or a show that you know is going to be sold out with many thousands of people, I like it when either digital or a TV camera goes outside and gets the audience and gets the crowd getting ready to come inside for the show. I think that really builds anticipation, and it's something that I'm not alone in having said this. I wish AEW had done a lot more of this in their early years when they were filling arenas much more and they were doing these like 10,000 people ticket sales. And now going into their pay-per-views, I wish they would bring that back, because some of these shows, like Double or Nothing, you have that opportunity to go out there in front of what is a massive, like, for anyone who's ever been around that Louis Armstrong / where was the other Grand Slam was at, what was the other venue?
Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe, thank you. And I've been to Arthur Ashe. For anyone who's ever been in that space, you have place to walk around and get that crowd of people coming in and build that anticipation that this is a really big and important show that you're putting on. And right now, AEW knows that they are on pace to have a very good crowd, like over 11,000 in there. You should take advantage of that. And if you don't, then you're kind of losing the opportunity to cash in on how much bigger your shows have gotten after going through a period of empty cavernous arenas with 3,000 people when the seats 20,000. Take advantage, make it work, and just do something different. I know you can toss it up on socials, but like if you have a tailgate brawl or you have a kickoff show or you have a 0 hour or whatever it is, WWE will show, they'll do the outside panel and the fans are there, and that's good. Again, you want to build the anticipation for the show you're going to go watch. But if you don't do it, then you're just kind of saying, yeah, you'll see them eventually. Like the fans are just as much a part of the presentation as the stage and the pyro can be.
I don't mind any of that stuff on like the pre-show. Like that's fine. It's just the like doing it during the show as the show opens is just
I know that'd be very back-asswards.
Weird. Yes. To me. I remember when WWE, they did this for like a couple of weeks. I think it was because they were in France and stuff. Like they did like the drone shot coming like through the building and stuff. Yeah, that was sweet. Like that stuff I think is cool. And then it like led into like Jey Uso's entrance and everything. Like
that ruled a little less.
Nah, Jey Uso's entrance in France was great. But like that stuff I have no issue with. But that's to your point of like, hey, show like the crowd like arriving and like how big the crowd is and stuff. Like that stuff I think is cool. It's just when like, hey, here's this dude with his luggage walking into the building. It's like, wow. Like I hear people are saying like, oh, it's supposed to be like these are superstars and that's gonna be how they're presented and stuff. I don't know, man. I see Penta just like coming out with his mask and just his luggage and stuff. I don't look at Penta of like, man, this guy's really larger than life. I was like, this dude just got off the airplane and just had to go through baggage claim, and now a camera's being shoved in his face, and he's got to do his walk and his Cerro Mado, and he just wants to get into the arena so he can wrestle. Like that's what I think when I see these people just walking into the arena.
And that's why I didn't mind it when they would just post it on socials, because again, so this is something that I've seen a lot of sports teams doing, is they will take photos of the whatever the stars, the athletes coming in. And so the Ducks are really funny with this. They'll be like, whose walk-in fit do you want? And it'll be people requesting which players they want to see as they walk past the entrance, and they'll post the picture of, you know, this guy playing with the team. Here's a picture of them walking into the arena. Do that and put it on socials, and it's a fun little thing. But like, to do it every single week to come into the show, to me, that just gets repetitive. And like you said, the guy just got off the plane, got off the bus, whatever. He's tired. He just wants to get to work. And it's like, it just seems so silly. But put it on socials. Put it on WWE socials. Put it on AEW socials. Put it on whatever your company of choice.
AEW fortunately doesn't do this dumb stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also do it where like they show up and they drop a picture of so and so arriving. I think that's harmless. You want to make your stars seem bigger, that like larger than life. I think extra content for socials is fine. Putting it on the TV show maybe you don't need to do as much. Focus on telling of the stories on the wrestling show.
I don't mind it on, put it on socials if you're going to do that. And sometimes they do put like, oh, like Stephanie Becker has like arrived to the arena and like that's on socials, but then they just still show it on the TV show, which
that part's dumb.
doesn't
Especially
make.
They walk in without the music and then they've got the music playing in the background while they're showing it on TV. It's the same shot.
Yeah, it's baffling to me. Yeah, socials is fine. Like the Avs do this of like yesterday they had a picture of Kadri, Landeskog, and Natchez. And like Natchez is wearing like sweatpants and like a white t-shirt. He's in the 99 Slim Shady fit out here. And Landeskog is all suited up and everything. And Kadri's like just kind of like casual wear more than anything. It looks like he's going to like Applebee's for dinner. And so it's like three different, personalities here coming out, and the caption's just like, which Av are you tonight? Like, are you just going completely bumming like Natchez? Are you getting dressed up to really go out like Landeskog, or are you just gonna have a casual night on the town like Kadri? And it's like, oh yeah, that's like stuff like that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Gives a little more to your talent and just shows them in a different light as they're getting ready to go to work or go out afterwards. But you know what? Forget it. At the end of the night, I want video showing them leaving. I want to see the wrestlers leaving all dressed up and ready to get out of there. Be like, got to make the next town, brother. But of course, it doesn't really work that way now with the way wrestling works. But back in the 80s, if they were doing this, just showing like, I don't know, Andre just with a giant
Andre's got two. He's got two just beers in his hand, chugging them on his way out.
Gonna go drive the car, brother. Like, oh shit.
I mean, 2 beers ain't doing nothing to Andre. He'd be fine to drive.
You got one of those like the Bubbas. Remember the Heineken Bubbas that were like 5 liters or something?
Yeah.
He's got one of those in each hand. Those look like regular beer cans. On to the next one.
Yeah, Andre's just out.
See, that's what I want to see them leaving. I don't want to see them staying. They're all hugging each other, saying goodbye, and they're just like, let's keep going. Someone's got a joint and just ready to go. None of this coming to work. I want to see them when they're done.
And you got people. They should. I mean, this is all you just put it all on reel. But you got like Cody back there yelling like, "Why are you leaving before the show's over? You got to stay till the end of the show.
Stick around. This is the best part."
Can't stand these kids nowadays not staying till the end of the show.
Nobody's serious enough. In Vegas, they have margaritas. The ones in the long tubes. I'm gonna go get my load on. I'll see you guys later. Oh man, you guys stay in the park? Ew, no. AJ Styles being like, I got swarmed by fans there. Got to get out of there. Oh God, that's what I need. Dave gave Punk and Roman 5 stars. That one guy who said he'd never listen to the podcast again if Dave didn't give it 5 stars. Pleasantly surprised they'll be listening again.
Okay.
That was my favorite of the week. Good for Dave. He liked the match that he saw. I personally don't care about star ratings, but everyone's jumping on it's 5 stars. Good for that, man. I hope you liked the match that you liked. Someone's asking me about people talking about releases. The people are speculating that there's a release day. They have not done a post-Mania release day in several years, if I'm not mistaken. And they've done a lot more contracts expiring than they've done, like letting contracts expire, than they have releasing people from their contracts midway through than we've seen lately. So for those who are speculating, first of all, speculating on people losing their jobs sucks. And I hope nobody actually plays into that, at least in this chat. I'd like to think you guys are better than that. But for those who are even thinking about it, it hasn't been a thing since before TKO came in. It just it was originally just trying to shore up contracts so that they could sell at a cheaper price. Now it's just contract's over. See you later.
I've not seen anybody reputable say anything, so that's all I got on it.
There you go. Anything else from the last 24 hours that we need to jump into? Oh, Darby Allin and Tommaso Ciampa also given 5 stars. So there you go. Dave loves both companies and hates both companies simultaneously. Just letting you all know.
SP3 had Roman and Punk. Those were his top 2 matches of the week. So.
Great. They were both great matches for different reasons. I'm glad people liked it. I thought they were both great matches for different reasons.
What did he give Sandman and Invisible Man? Because that's really the only match that matters.
I don't see a rating for it. He gave Janela and Brody 4.5, I think.
Better than any NXT match ever.
Yes. He gave,
not ever. Like, I'm pretty sure Gargano and Andrade got like 5 stars, but
he gave
probably the best It's probably better than NXT match in like the last 4 years.
He gave Brody Jr. and Janela 4. He gave Blue Panther and Ultimate Guerrero 4.5.
Oh, okay. But what about Sandman and Invisible Man? That's the only match that matters.
It's not listed.
Cowardly. I'm gonna ask him.
I know.
I'm gonna ask Dave for his rating.
You should.
Okay. Hello. He's gonna quote tweet me.
He's going to quote tweet you.
Yeah. He's gonna get like mad at me.
What else is new? He doesn't know.
What is his? Because Twitter's got to be dumb.
Dave Meltzer. I think he's Dave Meltzer. WON.
Okay. I don't think that's his profile though.
Yeah, it is. It's Dave Meltzer. WON.
No, I understand that, but like,
you trying to spell it?
You know how the Twitter search is? Like, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yes.
Like, it doesn't like auto fill in anything. Okay, I got it.
You got it.
Okay. Hello, Dave Meltzer. What was your star rating for Sandman versus Invisible Man? Many are calling it the greatest match of all time.
Fair.
Thanks. Have a good day.
He gave the ladder match a 4.75.
Okay.
If you liked it, I guess you liked it.
It was really good. You're the one who hated it, Joel.
I hated it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a ladder match in WWE.
You hated that ladder match.
Fair.
All right, there we go. I've tweeted Dave. Let's see if he quote tweet dunks on me of, well, who would be dumb enough to call this the greatest match of all time? One person didn't even.
Chat, you know what to do at that point. You reply, we did.
Yeah, everyone.
You stand up, I am Spartacus. You show that old man exactly what you mean. That'd be very funny if you all just went in and did that.
Yeah, everyone should reply to Dave if he does quote tweet me and say, I think it was the greatest match of all time.
That's fair. That's the one.
I yelled at SP3 yesterday because he had like 10 on his list. I was like, I was a 10. It was better
10.
than any match on the weekend.
Yeah, it was 10 out of 10. It wasn't 10.
Let's see what Sean gave this match.
That is an important question. We must have.
Hello, Sean. Hello, guys. The sad reality is it's still 5 days post Mania, and my voice has not completely returned yet. Now, fortunately, the great people at Make-A-Wish, despite this not being life-threatening, did say, "How can we help?" And I said, "Well, I would love to go to a WWE event. I'll sit anywhere, even like in the rafters with Sting." They came back with the bill and they said, "In the Weeds is the best we can do." So
that's unfortunate.
Thank you to the broke bitches at Make-A-Wish for that. We're here.
Broke bitches at Make-A-Wish.
They'll never sponsor our show.
I mean,
called Make-A-Wish broke bitches.
To be fair, at one point, listen, all of us at all points, at least once a week, consider getting out of wrestling media. It's just a natural thing. And I think it was like maybe 7 years ago, it was 2019. I witnessed a bunch of Make-A-Wishes happening with WWE. And I was like, you know what? I could get into that side of things. That would be a very fulfilling thing with me. But I just want to say that was a bit. They are not broke bitches. Thanks them for the incredible things.
Make sure, did. Man, you walked that back quicker than Rollins and Kyle Brandt.
I was going to say you walked it back quicker than Ric Flair.
So yeah, that's so funny. I tweeted yesterday. Robert DeFelice, who worked for Fightful, like posted a thing. He goes, "This is the best notification to get," and it was Ric Flair is the worst source of Ric Flair news. Which is
Ric
funny
Flair
because he used to be the best inside source because he would just blurt shit out on his podcast.
Yeah,
he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. Yesterday, his tweet was like, "Don't report something on me unless it's 100%." I was like, "Rick, the report is you said it. It's not even a report. It's you talking about this."
You remember when Kyoto was like, "I never said that," and it was his quote,
literally you.
Oh my god! But yeah, guys, I had a great WrestleMania week. Besides the $500 in parking.
It's now 5. Geez. It was 4 on Wednesday.
I found 2 more.
Oh my god,
Jesus!
I was on FaceTime with somebody and I was flipping these around, and I lost track of them. And they flipped around like a deck of cards. It was insane. It was
I still don't understand why I spent less on Ubers last year than you did on parking this year.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't like it, but
insane.
Oh, I got to wrestle in the cluster. I now want to make it go ahead.
I have to call you out for this.
Okay.
How are you losing to a super kick in 2026? What is happening here?
It's not a super kick. It's a Brian Alvarez super kick. You know, when Mirko Krokop head kicks somebody, it's a finish, buddy. I want to say Brian Alvarez was a dream. I don't have a close relationship with Brian. We just, been cordial over the years. That man was a sweetheart. He was great. And I want to thank him also again for he went on his show with Dave and put over the Parkinson's charity that I chose to wrestle for. And that was just incredibly nice. I could Brian and Dave and I, there is no ill will or rivalry there, but the general public doesn't know that. So we played off of that. And I wasn't sure how that would go, but then when they chanted Meltzer's better, I was like, all right, I don't care what dog shit follows this. We're going to be okay. But I wish I would have sold my chops more. This was a very short notice thing, despite me having gear. I had a feeling something like this would come up. I had a feeling I would get added to something that week. So there we were. I got a good friend of mine in that match who had been wanting to work GCW for a while. And now I am forever linked to the cage match profiles of at least 70-something other people.
Let's go.
So when Eric Ademia gets signed or Brooke Havoc gets signed or KJ Orso gets signed again, I'll be able to say I main evented with them, brother. I did it. I went there and I main evented in front of thousands of fans. But Brian the next day sent me a picture, and I've got long fingers, and none of my chops hit in the same place. So it's just a stretch of a giant red mark across his chest. I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah! It went really well.
Now that you're best friends with Alvarez, can you ask him to relower his cameo price to $10 so we can get him to do cameos for this show again?
I mean, without giving too much life situation stuff away, I am in a situation where I'm about to buy an Al Snow cameo for somebody's birthday. So I'm not in good shape when it comes to cameo. By the way, I had a few requests last week. I didn't get to fulfill them. Anybody who does get a cameo from me, I'll also donate the proceeds to that Parkinson's charity. People ask me to do a lot of E-Fed stuff. That's the coolest shit I've ever heard in my life to use Cameo for.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, break the news of our match. And I'm like, yeah, that's like 90% of them there. It's incredible. I love it.
That's a good use of a cameo.
Yeah.
For you. I think that's a very good use.
Somebody sent me the edit they did where I popped up on their Tron. And it's me announcing the match. I was like, damn. Guys, I'll be your commissioner if that's the case.
Yeah. It's like you appearing on Impact in 2019.
Yes. I'm inducting Ken Shamrock into the TNA Hall of Fame is what it is.
Let's go.
No, Alvarez is great on Cameo. I sure he has
Yeah.
no idea of the bit that we would buy a cameo for the person who was the top weed every month, and he would just bury that person. It was like a 4-minute video every single month of him just burying whoever the top weed was. He's fantastic, but then he raised it to $20, and we don't have that kind of money around here.
Inflation, brother. But
Yeah.
I would get a lot of people that are like, I love you, my friend hates you, please bury them. And I'm like, that'll be easy. The weird one, the reason I've got a 4.9 and not a 5 is because somebody asked me for a video of me barefoot stretching and flexing my toes and yawning for a project. And I just took the video and I was like, what are you doing? And it still charged them for it. Because listen, if you're going to perv out on my Cameo, I'm going to send you a video. I'm going to keep the money. I'm going to donate it. You can leave me the terrible review. I don't care. But like, I was like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Come on now. I don't got pretty toes, guys. I used to throw kicks for a hobby. They ain't, I take care of them, but they ain't not
People
beautiful.
don't care. I mean, some people do, but some people just don't care. They're just like, I just want to see feet.
Just want to see it.
Yeah.
You know what? I worked with a foot guy at Pizza Hut of all things back in the day.
Can't believe Tony.
I got an important call to take. I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, okay. Bye.
All right. Tony Atlas calling and saying, "Don't blow my spot, brother."
I'm just gonna message him like, "What was the call?"
That was Tony Khan called right in the middle of that. See that conversation you're having right now? That's why I won't do the show.
Talking about feet. We get Tony on here and be like, Tony, can we see your feet?
You wiggle your toes and yawn.
Tony would have every right to just leave at that point. Like, you know what? Fair. I don't blame you, Tony.
I wonder if there is something so egregious that he could be asked that even he walks away.
I feel like that would be close, right?
I don't know, man. He has sat through Coach and Bro. That man has nothing to fear.
Sure, but like they asked just like wrestling stuff, and then Russo just yelled a lot and everything. But like asking like, "Hey, show us your feet," like that's pretty insane. Honestly, that's pretty insane.
Tony, real quick. Show us your feet.
We'd get like if we ever got him on and actually like asked him that question. We'd get like super weird people of like, what are these guys doing? Like, well, what do you want us to ask? Hey, Tony, how's it feel to have Thekla as the face of your women's division? That's pretty cool, right? Like, sounds boring to me.
Excited for All In back in the UK this year. I know how much you love the United Kingdom. No. It's gonna be No, we don't. You know what? Because the feet are very, very special to certain people. I wouldn't even do it in front of. I would have them backstage and be like, "Our guest is here, and if they're ready for us, they can show me their feet."
Show me their feet. He just immediately pop off, like, no.
Could you imagine if that's how I started?
Okay,
thumbs up.
Let's make this about wrestling and be like, who has better feet, Speedball or Marina? And let's see what his answer is, since they wrestle barefoot.
Oh God, the wrong people would get into that conversation.
Thank God no one watches this show, because we would have been canceled so quickly.
That's the problem. No one watches the show. That's the issue. Oh, Jesus Christ. What would Tony's partner promo punch in the face be? I've thought about this for so long.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
What do you have? Who would it be?
That's the thing. I don't know if I should do.
Oh.
It should be people in the NFL, honestly.
Oh,
other
that where
data
we go?
Analytics people in the NFL. I don't know, other wrestling promoters, but it's like promoters from the 70s and the 80s. Mike McGurk. Sorry, Leo McGurk. Oh, man, because Mike McGurk was the ring announcer. But anyway. Oh, man. It's Leo McGurk. Oh, God. Jim Cornette. It's going to be like Cornette. and three others of your biggest detractors.
No, I would, like Danielson, Kingston, Mox. I would do people that like he like really likes and to see like who he would go with.
It would be 3 people from Time Cop.
3 people from Time
Three
Cop.
characters from Time Cop.
I did think of like Vince, Stephanie, and Shane.
Yeah, we did. I think we talked about that.
I don't want to make like Tony even more uncomfortable than we're gonna make him.
It would have to be AEW stars. It would have to be like the tippy top, like the people he speaks most glowingly about.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, favorites, buddy.
Danielson, Mox, and Orange Cassidy is who we go with.
But the thing is, he wouldn't answer it. He would answer all 3 he wants to promo with or tag with. He will punch none of them in the face. I'll give him Christian Cage to be like, would you punch Christian Cage in the face?
Christian.
Like,
Christian's a good one.
Yeah, Christian's
Christian's a good one. Yeah, it would be people that like he like really likes instead of people that we don't know how he kind of feels about this.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for the eventual interview. The conversation will be different. I think if nothing else,
short.
Probably. If nothing else, we will make it different because wrestling is one thing, and we're here because we allegedly like wrestling, but also we like to be a little human with our interview subjects. Like, it was just like,
do we?
Yeah, like the other day talking with Damo and talking about not just like Vegas, but also he went to India, and I was like, eat the food, and we got into that conversation and the music stuff. It's like I want to at least do a little bit more than just what's your favorite match. I want to get into like some fun, silly stuff with our interviews. We know this. This is part of every chat we have.
That's what we do.
It's what we do. SmackDown is on tonight.
No, it's not.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
They haven't announced anything other than the fallout from from WrestleMania, have they?
They don't even like announce that it's the fallout of WrestleMania. I put that there because I just like need some content on the article. But yeah, fallout from WrestleMania, sure, that's what's happening.
Get excited for no matches announced. CM Punk's gonna come out and be like, I'm gonna get my title shot today. And he's gonna beat up Seth Rollins. I mean, he's going to beat up Cody Rhodes. I saw a picture of Seth Rollins and it went into my brain.
Yeah, I don't think any of that's going to happen.
Who partner promo punch in the face? Actually, I'd let all 3 of them punch me in the face. That's how good of a wrestler they are, and I'm not a wrestler. That's the answer right there. I let them all punch me in the face.
Yeah, ask questions about the Jags and Fulham. I assume you're being sarcastic, MCats, because I hate those questions because the wrestling fans never ask like good questions about the Jags and Fulham. It's always of like, man, how do you juggle all these things at once? And the answer is always, well, I really love this. I've just loved sports my entire life. I've loved wrestling my entire life, and I'm very blessed to have this life to be involved in all 3 of these things that I really love. Like, if I didn't do this, I would probably still be involved in some way, in some capacity, and keep up with it in some way, in some capacity. I've been booking AEW Dynamite since I was 13 in my notebook, and I've been involved with the Jaguars since my dad had owned the team, and the Fulham since my dad has owned the team, and I've just worked my way into being a data analyst, and I've always just loved looking at the data and looking at the draft and trying to just find players and find diamonds in the rough. And it's just something that I really enjoy. And so when you're really passionate about these things, it's not really a job. You just want to keep doing. You want to do it every single day. And so I'm really blessed to just continue to do this stuff every single day. And it doesn't feel like work at all to me. I really love everything that I do with Fulham. We're doing great right now. Get it in Fulham. I don't know the quote, but get it in Fulham. We're doing really great stuff right now. And the Jags, Duval, or we're on the come up right now. We made the playoffs last year. Trevor Lawrence is looking like the draft pick that we got him to be, and we're paying him a lot of money, and he's going to continue to do great things. And our coach, I don't know his name, our coach, he really turned the season around, and he really turned the franchise around. He really turned the culture around here in Jacksonville. We're opening up a new stadium in Jacksonville. Well, we're really excited about that. We're excited to have all the great Jacksonville fans come out to the new stadium and Duval, and then AEW. It's been a passion of mine since I was 13 years old. my dad said if I could pass this test to go into this school, that he would take me to this ECW show. But that was the only way that I could go. But I had to, get good grades in college or high school or wherever it was. I had to get really, really good grades, and he would take me to this ECW show. And I did, I made sure to pass all my classes and do really great on my tests. And I put in a lot of work studying and just continued to prepare so I could go to this ECW show. And we went to this ECW show, the ECW arena. And it wasn't really my dad's scene, but he had a great time there. He loved all the wrestlers there, and he saw how passionate I was about this. And I just continued to work hard, and he knew this is what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm just very happy and very blessed that I'm able to do this with my life. And AEW, we were a competitor brand. We launched in 2019. We were on Warner Brothers Discovery. We're on TNT every week with AEW Collision, which was a new show we just recently launched a couple of years ago. But AEW Dynamite, it's been a staple of AEW programming since 2019 when we launched. It's October 2019. That's when we launched AEW Dynamite. It was originally on TBS, but now it's on. It was originally on TNT, and now it's on TBS. And we're just so blessed to be working with our great partners in Warner Brothers Discovery. And you can watch the pay-per-views now. We're on HBO Max with simulcast AEW Collision and AEW Dynamite every single Wednesdays and Saturdays on HBO Max, and all of our pay-per-views are on HBO Max, and our archive is available on HBO Max as well. And it's just fantastic to be involved in so many great things that I really love doing. Thank you for asking.
What was the saying for Fulham?
Isn't it like "get it in Fulham" or something?
Well, I'd like to debut our new slogan for Fulham today: "Get in them guts, Fulham." And everything comes back to where it started.
Nah, this is like if Tony is. Nah, I've done this impression way too long.
Yeah, he knows.
It got canceled way long ago if this one did it. Nope,
anything,
said that at the end. Said
Yep.
great question. Thanks for asking.
Yep. And again, this is why my question wouldn't be about Jaguars and Fulham. People know I've talked about it here. The question is, sell me on NFL football as if you're a wrestling promoter. Because I want, come on, make me like football, like you care about it, and see where that goes. But yeah, that is that is the Tony response you got. He's probably watching it and being like, oh shit, it's like looking in a mirror. You just need 2 cups of a double cup of coffee and you'll be ready.
I've had a lot of dumb dreams when it comes to the stuff we've accomplished on this show. I legitimately I want to do the AEW Dynamite preview with Tony and just go back and forth with Tony on previewing Dynamite. I don't think he would ever actually do this, but I think he might have fun with it. I also think he would just think it's the dumbest thing in the world and look at me like I'm the dumbest person in the world, which fairs. But that's one of those dumb dreams of man, if I just ever got to yell the AEW Dynamite preview with Tony, it's all downhill after that.
I feel like that'll be it. We'll get him. Don't worry, it'll happen this year. It'll be the weirdest, bestest conversation. It's gonna fill up the audience. They're gonna be ready for this, and we're gonna be ready for him. AEW Collision is on Saturday. It was taped on Wednesday from the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. Jeremy, what are we doing?
I mean, I gotta spoil it. That's the bit.
We never spoil AEW, I was told. Fightful never spoils AEW.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they clearly don't watch our show because we spoil AEW all the time on this show.
Gave you the Darby Allin stuff. We gave you this. We give you everything. I asked about stupid wrestler tweets that I don't want to ask about, but I asked about because I have a journalistic integrity to myself. Can you believe it? I have journalistic integrity. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I'm too serious about this business.
Yeah.
Collision. Are you ready?
Yes.
Obviously, we're not going to do the segments, but we will do.
Yeah, I quit on the segments.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let's start with the trios championships. The champions, the conglomerate dude, Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. They're going to face the Don Callis C.5 team, C+ team, Lance Archer, Hechicero, and Andrade El Idolo.
This is kind of like Andrade lists the overall grade
to a B-.
Yeah. Andrade's he's an A player. Hechicero's like a C player. Yeah, and
like a C-, a D.
Lance, yeah. And
This
so
is a big,
we'll call this
bag of Don Callis family.
Yeah, we'll call this a B-.
Okay,
a
the
B-
B-
team. Okay. The titles actually don't change hands here.
Wow. Well, it hasn't been a month yet. We got to give it time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they changed hands a day last time, so
That is fair. The Triangle of Madness, which for some reason is not the Sisters of Sin. It actually is this time Tekla and Sky Blue.
because that's not the Sisters of Sin.
Oh,
That's the
I
Triangle of
understand.
Madness.
I understand.
Okay.
What would you call this then? Tekla, this blue spider?
I feel like are they not like Sisters of Sin as well? Aren't they all like
They're
Sisters of
technically all
Sin who are a Triangle of Madness?
I don't know why we have to call them one versus the other. I've just called them blue spider. Called it Spider Sky. Sky Spider. Sky, I feel like that's a problem. Anyway, they're going to take on Alex Winza and Persephone. 2 champions in their own right in singles competition.
Oh, I don't remember who actually wins this match. This is actually kind of like a toss-up match for, a lot of collision matches. Like, all right, that's pretty obvious, but this is actually like kind of a toss-up match. I think that it feels like Sky Blue eats the pin, but I actually think Tekla and Sky Blue win, which I hope they do because I prefer team, even though Tekla and Sky Blue like don't team super regularly. I always prefer if the actual team beats the thrown together team, and this team was thrown together because Alex Windsor did not care that her husband got kidnapped. So I think Tekla and Sky Blue win, but don't actually like hold me to that spoiler.
All right, then. There's always one. There's always one where Jeremy just can't remember who
Yeah, because I do the spoilers on like Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and so I don't remember anything from like an hour ago, much less 24 plus hours ago.
I know that feeling. Adam Priest takes on Roosh.
Yeah, see, this is one of those like obvious ones here. The Roosh guy wins.
The guy who refuses to lose wins. Becca takes on Chris Statlander.
Again, the person who was signed wins.
Becca does have her 3 back, by the way. She did win back the 3.
Oh, okay, good for her.
They put the 3 on a poll, and she won it back from Dark Sheik.
Oh.
Which is a hilarious story that they told. I do appreciate Hood Slam doing that. The Dogs and the Death Riders. That's David Finlay, Clark Connors, Diana Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. That's a lot of people. Take on the Young Bucks and the Rascals. That's all 3 Rascals and both Young Bucks.
What was this match again?
The Dogs and the Death Riders versus the Young Bucks and the Rascals in, I assume, a 10-man tag.
This is another one that like I'm not. I think the Dog Riders win.
It's a great name for. We can't call them the Death Dogs. You want to call them the Dog?
No, the Dog Riders. I think the Dog Riders win though. I'm pretty sure that's right.
All right. Does that make the Bucks the Young Rascals or the Rascal Bucks?
Young Rascals work. Yeah.
Young Rascals. Okay, that's fine. In 6-man action, it's going to be I guess it's the Jericho Syndicate taking on the Demand.
This is another one. There's like some good matches this weekend that don't have like super obvious winners.
That's true.
Collision actually looks like good because the in-ring stuff is typically good.
But there are stories to tell in these matches, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I assume Jericho. Yeah, I'm killing the bit by not remembering the winners. Or do I remember the winners and I'm just trying to act like I don't remember because these matches are actually good matches and not super obvious.
Yeah, they're worth your time.
Yeah. The Demand win because they always beat up Chris Jericho, right?
There is a copyright out on that, so it could very well be the case. And finally, for the AEW National Championship, the champion Jungle Jack Perry, who sometimes falls over in chairs, sometimes drinks a little too much with his girlfriend on stream, but definitely has the national championship going into this match against El Clone. This is an interesting way of singing the theme, but sure. Oh, we're jacking off again for the finale. Is that what we're doing?
We're always jacking off. What are you talking about?
True. We never stop. Anyway, that's on tap for Collision this week. I do recommend watching it, considering we just went through the card and Jeremy only remembered a couple of matches. We'll talk about it.
I knew all of them.
Sure you did. We'll talk about it on Monday, along with some other stuff. Is there anything else going on this weekend that is going to be available to watch?
Sports. That's what I'm looking up right now. Thunder play at 3:30, so unfortunately it's not on at the same time as Collision. So actually,
okay, you gotta watch Collision.
I will have to pay attention to Collision.
Darn.
That's unfortunate.
You can watch TNA today.
I watched most of TNA. Why am I going to watch it again?
Preempted. That's right. You weren't preempted. I was.
Yeah.
I'll watch the second hour soon enough, and by which I mean like the last few minutes, because I did most of it already. Yeah.
What was your moment? What was your moment of Thursday, Joel?
Having the night off and trying to figure out how $2,500 suddenly went from Make-A-Wish to WWE.
This guy complains about having to do the TNA post show, and then his best moment
doesn't have
to
do it.
Having the night off.
Rogers Sportsnet was all like, "Hey, don't worry about it, bro," and I'm just like, "I won't worry about it, Rogers Sportsnet. Thank you for hockey."
My moment of Thursday, I'll give it to Mike Santana and Rich Swann. We'll show some TNA some love.
Wow,
here.
TNA show.
Fair.
My moment of Thursday is Carlos Silva doing the bare minimum and refunding a ticket in a hotel.
MCats, I did see your comments on the Avs. We're up 3-0, so I won't take your hate. You can't really be mean to me. Let me pull it up though. Hate the Avs. They're gonna sweep the Kings. Hopefully, they stole the franchise from Quebec when they were about to win the Stanley Cup in 1996.
Pretty sure that's not the case, but sure.
You can. We're winning, so you're allowed to be mean when we're coming off wins. When we come off losses, I'll ban all of you. Every single one of you, I will ban you.
Someone asking when is Carlos going to be on ITW? Around the same time as Paul Levesque comes back.
Well, Paul can come back anytime. You never know.
Paul knows where to show up.
Yeah.
Carlos being on this channel would be just fun.
This was hilarious. I know you're not like an NFL draft guy, Joel, but so Pittsburgh calls this player like Lemon Mackey. I don't think that's
Lemons.
No, Zeno might correct me on that. I think it's like Lemon Mackay or something. But they call him to tell him like, oh yeah, we're about to draft you, man. Like we're gonna draft you. Get excited, and he's like all super excited and everything. He's like, oh sweet, going to Pittsburgh, and the draft is in Pittsburgh, mind you. So like the fans are like super excited to get this guy, and then his agent runs up and he's like, the Eagles are calling. The Eagles have traded up to get you. And so then he's got to like hang up on Pittsburgh, and then he's talking to like the Eagles, and he's like, the Eagles. He's like, oh, thanks for drafting me and everything. So Pittsburgh called them to say, hey, we're drafting you, and then the Eagles swooped in and were like, actually, you know what, buddy, we are drafting you. That's that cool like behind the scenes shit that you could see on the draft. So I do, I did really appreciate that. I was like, that's pretty funny. It was. Somebody was on Dan Patrick yesterday, telling like a similar story of like they were like on the phone with a player and they're like, yeah, we're going to draft you. And then they got like a phone call that like, hey, we want to trade for your pick. And so they had to hang up on the player and be like, actually we've traded this pick instead of drafting you. So that behind the scenes stuff is crazy when they're just like calling these players and telling you like, hey, we're taking you. And then all of a sudden they are not being taken.
There you go. The takeaway here is Manny Lemons does not play football.
No, it does not. No.
Good wrestler.
Yeah.
It is Friday.
Oh yeah, I gotta. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no poll question.
What do we accomplish today?
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Getting them guts is something you should all be asking your partners and reporting back to us what happens when you ask them. Put them in the comments. And also, when asked to refund your mistakes, you should do it immediately and not a week later when you feel like maybe that would be a good idea, pal. And finally, if ever corporate responsibility, corporate social responsibilities are placed upon you, make good with them and make sure that the $2,500 that you pay goes to the right people.
My guy Deontay, he posted this in the chat, but he also DM'd me about this. He said, I DM'd my girlfriend the following phrase: "Can I get in them guts?" But I sent it as an email. She emailed me back and he said, "You motherfucker, I hate how I laughed." She didn't say no, so he's taking that as a yes. Fair. Baby, can I get in them guts? She didn't say no, everybody.
That works.
She can't stand me, which also fair.
I get it.
I think the biggest thing we accomplished today is
Because I really want to stick my penis in your vagina.
Jesus.
it is Friday. It is Friday.
Mana, the final boss. And here we go. This is how good.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
We got it chilled today once again.
Ooh,
and
looks
here
good.
we go. It's pretty good.
Tastes better that way.
Oh, it tastes so much better chilled. Yeah.
Nobody
I only
likes
did it.
vodka.
I only did it the one time. The one time that wasn't chilled, and then learned that quick. The first time, learned that very quickly. Of that was a mistake. So I at least get ice, if nothing else. You know, at least get ice. Nothing else.
Where is SmackDown tonight?
Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah.
Should have asked if our pal Cam was going. They're in Fort Worth. Maybe not. Anyway, we're back on Monday. Well,
Are we?
Yeah, allegedly.
Okay.
It's almost the end of the month, so billings and stuff. If you want to sponsor the show, reach out to myself or Jeremy and pay us all of your money to talk about whatever you want us to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Well, give us your money and we'll figure it out. For now, you know who he is because I just said his name. You know who I am because it's on the bottom of the screen unless you're in audio, at which point it's in the description of the video and the audio. But I'm good, and so is Jeremy. I just said our names. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, leave a thumbs up on the way out, and we'll see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.
Go getting it.